and she's lost the lead of the race as we're looking at two other cars. There's contact at the back. And she spun around, and there's damage in there.
This is where she picked up that marker board.
Yeah, Moore and also Kesley have had a collision there.
Jamie Chadwick has taken the lead into turn one, and there's a huge crash there for one of the cars. It is absolutely
We've got a spinner
freezing.
that looks
it is Shea Holbrook again struggling.
I think that's turn 8.
Oof.
And a little bit off track there through the grass, but there'll be no damage done to the car. There'll be extra cleaning up for the engineer and mechanics afterwards, but she just needs to get back on track as quick as possible. For those who are watching, as we've got a spinner there, that's 67.
It's Shea Holbrook again.
Yeah, Shea is just having a really, really difficult time. She is down currently in 18th place and not in a happy place at all.
Fabian Volben getting all out of shape.
Yeah, that's just in 2 corners from the end. And that stadium section, as I mentioned, has got different tarmac, and you struggle a little bit for the grip, and she just overran a little bit as she went through the middle of 16 and to the other side of the curb. And down at turn 13, you see a car leaving the track into the gravel.
That is Megan Gilks.
Megan Gilks, the Canadian.
Got looks like Alice Powell's come off there, and she's stuck into the gravel.
Turn 13 again. That's where we saw them all having difficulty, and that almost looks like a replay of for the hardcore Formula One fans. That's where Sebastian Vettel binned it last year in the Formula One Grand Prix, and you can see her frustration. The red flag is out, and I believe we will not see any further times this afternoon. So as she gets out of the car, I am pretty confident we can start declaring that as our first grid. Let's just see front left under rotation. So Ted, if you're seeing that as well, a classic mistake down at 13. And well, I've been in that very gravel myself.
That's Marta Garcia alongside car 27, which is Sarah Moore, looking to see if she can get an advantage into the hairpin.
Jamie Chadwick's gone wide.
Jamie Chadwick's off the circuit. She's off the circuit, and she's lost the lead of the race as we're looking at two other cars. There's contact at the back between two of them, but Jamie Chadwick went wide at the hairpin, and for now is not leading the race.
That car is going to be somewhat difficult for them to recover. You can see
Megan Gilks and Emma Kymäläinen. She was doing so well, started high up on the grid. She started second and is now out of this race, and Jamie Chadwick's going to fight hard to try and get this win back.
Yeah. Oh, T-boned. Megan Gilks T-boned down the inside, and she got on the wet patch on the inside, braked a little bit too late, and look at her, absolutely coming like a missile. Well, unfortunately, that can happen. We saw our race leader Jamie Chadwick make a mistake, and action before we've even completed one single lap here in Hockenheim. And well, these are robust Formula 3 cars, so both the drivers completely okay, but that does, with only 6 races in the championship, that definitely is not the way they wanted to start here in Hockenheim.
Miki Koyama has moved up to 7th, overtaking Esme Hawkey, as we see a spin there.
Well, that was, I think, a replay of Vicky Perea,
okay.
and this is where she picked up that marker board. A little dunt onto the Armco barrier as well.
She's taking it all the way. We see Vicky Perea just getting a little bit out of sorts there.
Yeah, she had turn and oversteer, and when she corrected, of course, that took her on a slightly wider line, which when you're in a chicane, and look at that nice power slide as we saw Fabienne there power sliding out of the chicane. So, you know, really taking these cars to the limit and beyond. They've just seen a mistake there from Jamie Chadwick, locking up and running across the chicane. So hopefully she hasn't flat spotted that tyre.
Chadwick has just set the fastest time of a 1:28.6 and gone off the circuit a little bit and hit the gravel.
Contact.
And she spun around, and there's damage in there as Esme Hawkey has, I think, gone into Gosia Radest. I'm going to have to just see if which is the purple car that has spun round.
Looks like she might have stalled, Claire. Looks like she may be
lost
stopped.
her front wing as well.
Front wing's gone, and you can see there the damage.
It's Vivian.
Yeah, Vivian, and they've got yellow flags out, understandably, and safety car once again. It looked to me that I think actually Esme was overtaking the car directly behind Kestley, and then overshot the corner and ended up T-boning into the side of Kestley. So disappointing for both the racers, of course, but let's get a replay of that and see exactly who she made the move on.
It was Gosha Radest.
Yeah.
I thought there was another car involved in that. I definitely saw a purple car going into the grass.
Wood's got a problem left front suspension there as she's locked up. You can see that the left front tyre is at a rather odd angle, so that looks like the bottom leg of the suspension is broken as she came into the last corner. She's now got a long, slow lap to come back to the pits. Not that they'll be able to repair it, so her qualifying at the moment is over. Wood down in 17th place.
Jamie Chadwick has taken the lead into turn 1, and there's a huge crash there for one of the cars. We'll come back to that in just a moment, but it is Jamie Chadwick who is leading. I think that might have been Fabian Volvend, as Beitske Visser is in second place. Here's the restart, so great. Actually, it was Fabian Volvend who just got a little bit of oversteer then. Jamie Chadwick just made her way around the outside and into turn 1 and gets a lead quite quickly as Beitske Visser gets past Volvend, and it's Volvend and Powell who come together, and then Powell just, like you said, you can't stop that, basically, can you?
No, she was on the outside. You're always in the risk area, and she was seeing a gap that was forever closing at that moment in time, and it closed a little bit quicker than she expected. That launched her up into there. Here you see her on the right-hand side of our picture, and there was just that little bit of a squeeze on Volvend. At the end of the day, Volvend didn't get the launch off the line that she expected. Powell did get a bit of a launch and was looking to take advantage of it. However, that wasn't possible. Broken left front suspension, and a disappointing end to the race. However, it's Chadwick that's leading from Visser, and then the slow starting Volvend is in third.
Tricky turn 8. She didn't quite ace there as they come around turn 10, as Naomi Schiff has had, I would assume, it looks like she's had a spin up by turn 4 and 5. She rejoins the circuit now.
Yeah, this is getting to the point where the rear tyres are dropping off, trying to get onto the power. She's had a quick spin, but she's on her way again, as here we see her getting up, just basically getting onto the power, and the left rear tyre was still on the curb and did a half spin, caught it, so it wasn't too much damage in terms of time loss, but it's enough because I think she dropped a position there. There's something with the right front suspension. You see there it's bent, and so I presume she's hit a curb because she was completely offline, massively offline, braking on the inside, and she wasn't able to steer at that moment in time. So once she hit the brake, she was a kind of passenger in this, as a yellow flag still down at the first corner. Kymäläinen's going to do it. She's gone down the inside of Koyama and run a little bit wide. Koyama looking for the cutback, and then the run down towards turn 4. So Koyama, it's not done yet. It's Moore and also Kestley have had a collision there at the first corner. There's
a replay here of what happened. So it was
Moore's fault. She came in and locked up and lost the rear and went into the side of Kestley. Kestley, unfortunately for her, she was Holbrook, apologies. She was absolutely the innocent party in this particular one.
Is she? Oh, well, that's interesting. Did she hit a curb and just lose the front? What happened there?
Well, basically that, I think, is from a previous incident, because as she braked, that was at the braking point where the suspension loaded up and then it buckled and broke at that moment. But usually it is because of a previous incident that's weakened the front suspension. We don't know where, we don't know whether it was a touch with another car or something else, but whatever it is, Moore is out. Maybe 10 cars altogether, and then there's some areas as there's been a spin there coming Esme Hawkey, and that's coming out of turn 5. That's the slowest corner on the circuit. It's a hairpin, and it's only about 30 miles per hour, 50 kilometers per hour. She just got on the throttle. Oh my goodness, Esme Hawkey there as well, running wide and over a sleeping policeman, kicked the car up into the air, and that'll have given her a shock because that goes straight through the body as well as the car lands down onto its all 4 wheels. She probably should come in and just get the underneath of the car, the floor check, to make sure there's no damage there. But that spin, and then later on in the lap, actually running wide onto the runoff area and then over the sleeping policeman.
Shea Holbrook is in the gravel.
She's not in the gravel, she's in the beach somewhere. She's so far off the circuit. Don't know where she's gone off there.
She is in the second sector, so she's up by turns 10, 11 and 12, and she's put herself into the gravel, so...
Yeah, she's just gone in. It's a double apex, and she's tried to throw the front of the car in. The rear hasn't followed. She's half spun and gone into the gravel, and now unbuckled the belts and getting out. So this is the end of the session for Shea Holbrook. She's down in 18th position, so not a good qualifying for her any stretch of the imagination.
Alice Powell looking to see if she can make it work into turn 1, but actually not sure she has. Jamie Chadwick's gone up to 3rd place. Alice Powell looking to see if she can get the lead of the race, and she has taken the lead into turn 2. And actually, we're seeing Emma Kymäläinen go further back, and there's a crash at the back, but it is Alice Powell who leads this race.
As Koyama is out of the race, left front suspension in a safety car. Tasman Pepper was the other car involved in that incident, spinning at turn 1, but Koyama is definitely out.
So the crash just at the back there, it looks like there's a spin for Tasman Pepper, and Miki Koyama just actually drives into the spinner. I assume
she gets tapped from behind, yeah. I think, Claire, there, and that means that she spins round and Koyama just runs into the back of her, so kind of innocent. That's the reason that Koyama, 13th on the grid, hits Pepper, but it was the car directly behind Pepper that seems to have just given her a little bit of a nudge at that first corner.
I think that the key thing here is Powell knows this track well. She's spent a lot of time here. She's a local in terms of experience. She's got Kymäläinen not so much, and although she's been driving the track quickly, she might not know all of the little places that you can create opportunities. Powell used that to great effect as Koyama's bad afternoon continues. Now, has she stalled the car? Will this be a safety car, or will she be able to recover the position? This is Koyama's incident earlier, trying to rejoin after her spin, and well, she just really made a meal of that. She should have been dropping the clutch and spinning up the rear wheels and getting the car to turn. I can speak from experience, having spun a lot in my career, so I got quite good at getting him back on track.